Do you ever feel like life is a treadmill? Like you wake up, go to work, come home, eat something half decent if you're lucky, watch a show to take the edge off, then collapse into bed only to wake up and do it all over again? And for what? To pay rent? To keep the lights on? And if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, you might scrape together enough to take a vacation once a year, post some beach pictures, and pretend you're really living. But the moment you get back, it's right back to the grind, like it never even happened. What is that? What is this life we've been sold? They tell us this is just how it works. You grow up, go to school, get a job, pay your bills, and if you're responsible, you might get to retire before your body gives out. And somewhere in there, you're supposed to find meaning. But what if I told you that's not living? That's maintenance. Living is something else entirely. There's this phrase I've heard before: the price of life is death. It sounds dark, but what it really means is the cost of existing is that one day you won't. And yet, so many people live like they're afraid to spend it. Like life is this rare, fragile thing that needs to be tucked away, stored up for later. They tell themselves they'll really start living once they make enough money, once they get that promotion, once they settle down, once they retire. But you know what happens? Later keeps moving further down the line. And then one day, it's over. You weren't born just to pay bills and die. You were born to create, to explore, to feel things deeply, to make mistakes and learn from them, to connect with people in ways that shake your soul. You were born to dance to music so loud you forget what you look like, to cry over a piece of art that makes no sense to anyone but you, to laugh until your stomach hurts, to stand on a mountain or by the ocean or in the middle of a crowded street and think, wow, I am here. I am truly here. You weren't born to be a worker first and a human second. But that's what they want, isn't it? The system, this thing we call life, but is really just survival, was never designed for your joy. It was designed for your labor. From the moment you're born, you are being shaped into a cog in the machine. Schools don't teach you how to dream. They teach you how to obey. Jobs don't reward creativity. They reward compliance. And every time you feel like you might be able to break free, there's another bill, another expense, another reason why you just have to be responsible and stay in line. But let me ask you something. What would happen if you stepped off the treadmill? What would happen if, for once, you stopped running towards some future where you were finally allowed to be happy and just were? Now, I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow and go live in the woods, but I am saying don't let the system convince you that this is all there is. You are allowed to want more. More joy, more freedom, more meaning. And I know what you're thinking. That sounds nice, but I still have rent to pay. I still have responsibilities. And yeah, I get that. But there's a difference between surviving and surrendering. You can survive without forgetting how to live. You can work without becoming just a worker. You can pay bills without making them the purpose of your existence. But you have to choose it, because no one is going to hand you joy. No one is going to give you freedom. They're too busy trying to sell it to you. They'll tell you that freedom is a bigger paycheck, a nicer car, a bigger house. But real freedom, the kind that makes your chest expand when you breathe, the kind that makes you wake up excited to be alive, that kind of freedom comes from knowing deep in your bones that your life is yours. Not your boss's, not the government's, not society, but yours. So what does that mean to you? It means taking up space in your own life. It means not waiting for permission to do the things that set your soul on fire. It means saying yes to adventure, even if it's inconvenient. Saying no to things that drain you, even if people don't understand. It means remembering that your time is the most precious thing you have, and you don't get to keep it. If you knew for sure, without a doubt, that you had exactly 5 years left, how would you spend them? Would you still be clocking into that job that makes you miserable? Would you still be putting off your dreams because you're waiting for a better time? Would you still be playing it safe, or would you start living? Would you finally write that book, or start that business, or take that trip? Would you start spending time with the people who make you feel alive and stop wasting it on the ones who drain you? Would you start saying what you really mean without filtering yourself to make other people comfortable? And if that's the case, if you'd do things differently if you knew your time was running out, then why are you waiting to start? Because I have news for you. Your time is running out. It's always running out. Every single day you wake up is one less day you'll ever have. And that doesn't mean you should panic. It means you should live like you mean it. Not later, not someday, now. You weren't born just to pay bills and die. You were born to live. So go, live. If this video resonated with you, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and watch one of my other videos on the side of the screen. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.